Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Batman, issue number 53. This wasn't good. This just wasn't good. The cover's beautiful. The art inside is beautiful. The writing, I'm sorry. I just want to point out the cover. Like, just look at that. Like, when you look inside, you see Batman and Selene kissing, and it's like, "Oh, how you doing?" And like, he's just like throwing all of his, bat clothes away and all that. He kind of does that a little bit in this. By the end, he decides to go back to his original Batman. Well, not really his original. I wonder if I... Oh! Always have some kind of a figure close by. He doesn't go back to the original purple gloves look. He doesn't pick up his 9mm again, but he does go back to a very original look where there's like no armor. I was just talking about that recently with DKN and Comic Joe. They what do you call it? They're all pointing out like, yeah, he's going back to his regular non-armored form. It's like, can he just go to his Arkham Asylum form where he's fully armored? Like, it just makes more sense. But anyway, all that really happens, sorry, let me get into, Tom King does the script, Lee Weeks does the art, Elizabeth Brightweiser does the color, and Clayton Cowles does the letters. Weeks and Brightweiser did there's no T in there, no second T. Brightweiser did the cover that I was looking at that I think is so beautiful. Claire Andrews does a variant cover. So basically, Bruce just admits that he illegally, illegal for Bruce Wayne, Batman, what? Vigilante? He bribed somebody inside of the courthouse so that he himself could actually be the one of the jurors, so he could try and fix everything here. There's a big thing about religion and trying to compare Batman to God. It was at least in the opinion of people. I understand what was being done, and like I think I understand where Tom King is going with this, and it's a really noble, valiant effort. I just feel that at the end of the comic book, I wasn't made to believe that what he did worked. Rather, what Tom King wanted to work worked because Tom King needed it to work, not because he made it so that Bruce Wayne was very convincing in what he said at all in any way, shape, or form. He was not. I didn't believe anything that was being said. There were several times it was actually written, this is so mean, and I'm sorry, but it's the God's honest truth. There were so many times I'm sitting here, I'm reading the comic book, and I'm just so bored by what I'm reading that I start thinking about other things. I start thinking about, and it's like middle of the night for me when I'm doing this. I'm just like thinking about other things as I'm reading, and then I realize that I just read a whole page and I have no idea what I just read. So I'll go back and read it. I did that maybe twice. All the other times that it happened, I never bothered to go back and reread it. So you might say, oh, well, Bill, you don't know what's going on in the book then. No. Because when I start paying attention to it again, it's still rambling on with the same... It's practically incoherent. It's not that bad, but it might as well be, because it's literally... It's just, we like to think that Batman is God, but he's not. He's not. We can't think like that. When I was young, I was hurt, and I tried to think that Batman... Jesus Christ, I would punch somebody in the mouth if they talked to me like that in person. I would say, you're an idiot. Like, okay, if they were actually like, a little loco en la cabeza, maybe that's something different. But sorry, just I'm old, and I come from a time when you tell people that they're dumb when they're being dumb. This was so dumb. This was so dumb. I would have punched Bruce Wayne in the face. And you know what? He would have deserved it. This was so bad. Even the way there was, like, just... Everybody's just kind of looking at him like, you're an idiot. Look, the entire time. She's sitting there like this the whole time. You're an idiot. In the beginning and at the end, she's holding her cross because Bruce Wayne is talking about her cross. And at the end, she's still holding it the same way and looking at him with this look on her face like, are you retarded? No, seriously, are you mentally impaired? Are you handicapped? Because, like, that's the look she's got on her face, and I'm thinking the same thing. Bruce Wayne just went full retard, to quote Tropic Thunder. Like, he just, wow, completely lost it on me. Completely lost it on me. I was so done with everything that was written. And you might say, but Professor Bill, it couldn't get any worse. That's actually not true. Tom King decided to put the Batman origin story in here. Oh, Jesus Christ, Tom King, man. Just, Tommy, man. Like, when push comes to shove, man, you remember back when everybody was still defending the Batman vs. Superman book or movie because they're like, no, it's really not as bad as everybody's making it out to be. No. And then eventually most people came around, except for those 13 people demanding the Snyder cut of Justice League. Most of us were just like, yeah, Batman vs. Superman, it just wasn't that good. Visually, it was amazing and all sorts of, the parts that we could see because there was actually some light in there. The Batman beating up everybody's scene, although kind of out of character, it was still really cool. Batman was kicking some serious butt in there, Batfleck. But for the most part, most people eventually came around and just like, okay, fine, it wasn't a good movie. It wasn't a good representation. Yeah, could have been done a whole lot better. Anyhow, the idea to me is that much like that, where people finally wound up coming around and realizing that it wasn't so good, that's kind of like how I feel this is happening here. Because just even those people, man, even those people who at first were defending BVS to the tip, they were still willing to admit, yeah, he shouldn't have put another Batman origin story in it. Because Batman's origin story never really changed. I mean, not really. Maybe there's a little tweak, a very, very soft minor retcon, but it's always been the same. And I don't think that there's a person on this earth who couldn't tell you Batman's origin story. You know what I'm saying? So just reminding us of his origin story even, there's no need for that. There's just zero need for that. Anyway, I decided that I was going to try and leave this on a good note because I hate giving negative reviews. I hate that. I am going to say, though, that I'm going to read one more of Tom King's book because next issue is going to be a new arc. And I got to give him the credit that maybe he wrote this before issue number 50 came out when everybody just completely dumped all over him. I feel bad for the guy, I really do. He thought this was going to go well like his Miracle or Mr. Miracle series, which is amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is literally like polar opposites. So I feel like he tried, he did his best, and then by the time that the reviews started coming in for issue 50, these 3 stories were already done and drawn and just put out there, and he couldn't really recall them, So I'm hoping that next issue number 54, is going to actually be good. And he's going to say, okay, I got to rein all this crap in and I got to start making Batman again. Because I do love that he's grounding Batman. I haven't seen Batman this grounded since he was first created. That's real talk. And you got to give the man uber props for that. Because anyone brave enough to try and ground Batman out in space and inside Superman's body as a microcosm, like, it's ridiculous. But grounding him is an extremely noble, valiant effort, and I love that Tom King is trying to do that. That's one of the main reasons why I've stuck with him so much through thick and thin in this comic book. But I can only give him but one more issue before I'm just like, you know what? I'm actually off of Batman. I haven't not read Batman in a really long time. I don't remember what it's like to not read Batman. It's going to be a transition for me. I don't know how I'm going to come out on the other end as an entire human being anymore, but we'll see. We'll see, especially if the next issue is horrible. In the meantime, I decided I'm going to try and leave on a good, positive note. And I had to find some good way to understand these words. I had to make them into lyrics. Professor Bill grew up in what's considered bad neighborhoods. That's white people talk for black neighborhoods. So I learned how to rap. I learned how to freestyle, just by proxy, at the very least. And I'm not going to get full into it, but I'm going to just a little bit. I'm going to just read some of these as rap lyrics. All right, got to start off with a beat. Right? Follow with me. He tries, he does, I know, and he fails and he tries again, but he can't. He does not provide solace from pain. He cannot give you hope for the eternal. He cannot comfort you for the love lost. God blesses your soul with grace. Batman punches people in the face. God blesses your soul with grace. Batman punches people in the face. Yeah. That's the best I could do with this book. I tried to enlighten what Tom King has done here as best I could. Mark this date in your calendar. This is the day that you saw Professor Bill rap. One of these days I'll actually get into Chip Fu from the Fu-Schnickens and start doing reverse, but not today. Not today. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.